Hi folks, the next question we're going to look at is from Unit 5, Quiz 2. We're going to look at number 4, and they're asking us to sketch this square root function. Okay, so before that I just want to remind you how we can transform points here. So, if this represents a general transformation of any parent function, okay, remember that if I start with a point xy on my original function, this is how it's going to be transformed. So the x component will be transformed by the b and the h. And remember, we have to go in the correct order. So first the b, then the h. So first, x will be divided by b. Remember, everything is opposite when it comes to horizontal translations. So the x value will be divided by b. And then we're going to, instead of minus h, we're going to add h. Okay, so this is how we can perform the transformation on the point all in one step. Okay, now we look at the y values, and here we see that the y value is first going to be multiplied by a, and then we're going to add k. Okay, so this represents a transformation of any point on the parent function. Okay, so now let's work on this function here. We notice here that we need the input to be in factored form, so that's always going to be my first step. So it looks like this should have had a y there. Sorry about that. So let's put that into factored form. So negative, okay, and here I need to factor out whatever's in front of the x. So negative 2, and we're left with x, and here negative 4 divided by negative 2 is plus 2. Okay, so this is how I'm going to interpret my transformations from this form here. Okay, so let me start with my basic points on the parent function root x, so 0, 0, 1, 1, and 4, 2. Okay, and now I'm going to apply these transformations to these points. Okay, so if I look at the x value here, I have to divide 0 by negative 2, which is still 0. And then I'm going to, again, remember always the opposite, subtract 2. So that's going to leave me with negative 2. And then here, 0 divided by 0 times negative 1, so still 0. And there's no vertical translation, so that's just going to remain 0. Okay, let's work with this one here. 1 divided by negative 2, so negative 0.5. Okay, and then subtract 2. So this one I'll do in 2 steps. Okay, and then here we've got 1 is going to be multiplied by negative 1. Okay, and again, no vertical translation, so that's where it's going to stay. Let's simplify that here. So it looks like we've got negative 2.5 and negative 1. Okay, now for 4, again, 4 divided by negative 2, and then subtract 2. And then for the y values, it's just 2 times negative 1, so negative 2. So simplify that. 4 divided by negative 2 minus 2, negative 4, negative 2. Okay, so once I've transformed the points, it's only now that I'm going to start setting up my graph. Okay, so don't seem to have a ruler around, so I'll do this by hand. Okay, so I see that my x values are all negative, so I'll put my y-axis a little further to the right. Okay, and I look at my y values, and again, they're all negative, so I'll put my x-axis a little further up. Okay, you should indicate that this is the x and that's the y-axis. You should also indicate your scale. Okay, it makes sense to use a scale going up by 1, given our numbers. So now we can input our points. So negative 2, 0 will be our starting point. Okay, then we have negative 2.5, 1. Negative 1, so there we go. Second point, and then negative 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, 2 is our next point there. And now we have enough information to draw the graph. So remember, we want to indicate here that it does keep decreasing, so we put our arrow there. Okay, and there's our graph. That's it for this question here.